Well, hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of Sir Derwin Speaks. Man, it's so indeed a pleasure and an honor just having the opportunity to come to you guys on this blessed day just to have a word and a conversation with you about some particular subjects that might really be encouraging, empowering, or inspiring. We're in a day and a time now where a lot of stuff is going on in the world today, and we're all looking for solutions. We're all looking for answers. We're all trying to find out what in the world is going on. Stay tuned for this video. You need to stay all the way till the end. We have some great content, some relatable content. One thing I really wanted to always encourage those that are new subscribers or new viewers. We just want to thank you for being a part of the Sir Derwin Speak YouTube channel. And for those that will be coming on board, we just want to say thank you for viewing this. But there's a lot of great content that's going to be coming across in this video on today. And I'm asking only this, if you would. If you find some value in this content, that you would hit the like button and let me know that you appreciate it or it's doing something to help you in your life. Ring that bell. And then you always get notification, when I drop some new content, and you'll be one of the first ones to get notified about what's getting dropped and released. And then also subscribe to the channel. We'll always be in rotation. We'll always be in your algorithm, and you'll always be able to have some exposure to some great content. We're so excited. This is raw, uncut. This is a grassroots channel. We're going to get into, scaling the channel higher. But for now, we just want to have real conversations with real people that are dealing with real situations. We're going to jump right into today's show because we want to share some things that's really going to help us find out some answers to our questions. I want to ask you guys a question this morning. How many of you guys ever ask yourselves, or even just talking out loud, or even in prayer, what's going on with me? What in the world's going on? It seems like if it's not one thing, it's another. Let me see a show of hands of those that have experienced that. It seems like when you jump out of one situation, you jump right back into another situation. Something's always happening. Do you ever ask your questions, why did this person do this, and why did they do this to me, and why did that happen to me? We all have been in those positions trying to figure out, what it is that's causing us to be in a certain particular situation or a circumstance. How do we get through these things? We're looking for an answer because eventually everybody gets tired of something. Over 25 years of addiction, it took a long time for me. I saw all the signs, I saw all the ways of out, but I still chose to live in that lifestyle. But as I became empowered and began to realize that it's going to take a power stronger than me. But in today's broadcast, we want to really encourage you guys today talking about what is really the root of a lot of our problems. You want to know? Do you want to know what is in the core, or what is the reason a lot of times we go through what we go through and we have to deal with the things we deal with? You know what it is? Us. I'm going to let you gravitate on that for a minute. Us. We are our greatest enemy. Us. We are the ones that are stopping the process and the progress in our lives. It just seems natural sometimes for people to just always look for somebody to blame it on, or say my ex-husband, my ex-wife, or that job and that pastor. It seems like it's just something natural about people wanting to find excuses or have reasons for why they're failing or not learning and not experiencing the things they think they should experience, why they don't have money right now, why I can't find a husband, why I can't find a wife. Sometimes some of the main problems is us, ourselves, me. I am my greatest enemy. I can blame other folk and say it was the drugs, it was this and that, but it was me that put the drugs inside of me. It was me that did this and me that did that. Once you start having accountability for the part that you play, then you can walk in a mindset that, I'm able to change. A lot of times we don't talk about being able to see the full potential that's inside of us because we're looking for a way out or we're looking for someone. I guess it makes people feel better when you can blame it on somebody. Have you ever blamed where you are in your life on somebody? Do you know somebody who has? There's people, I've done it years ago until I learned that I was my biggest enemy. We talk about the devil, we talk about the enemy and all this and that, but really it's the stuff, our sinful desires, the things that are inside of us that pulls us away from doing the things that God has ordained to us. We don't never see the full potential. How can you? We're so easily distracted and manipulated by the systems of this world. Advertisement, marketing, driving us different places. We're not able to see the full potential inside of us because we're trying to find a solution to a problem that we're blaming on people that's really us. I know it's a hard topic and people are probably turned off from this channel, but I want to give me an opportunity to explain to you why I feel that way. Sometimes it's almost like we have inside of us what's called an excuse factory. It's like every time something happens, there's a reason, there's an excuse why. If you didn't do it, just say, I didn't do it. I take and assume full responsibility. That's an humble person. That's a person recognizing that something has to change. It's so easy to have an excuse for this and an excuse for that. If I was to talk to you guys right now and ask any of you guys that's viewing this, if you was to track all the time that you spend on social media, for whoever that applies to, if you could take out a pencil and piece of paper, I want you to do this exercise after we get off the air. I want you to go and write down as much time in a week that you spend scrolling and interacting on social media. I'm not saying anything's bad. We're not going there. I'm trying to show a point, showcase a point. The time that we spend sometimes frivolously just scrolling through social media and different platforms, but we're not really targeting the areas on the social media platforms that can help us. It seems like sometimes we want to look at a bunch of bad stuff that has happened, things that have befallen people, the good things that happen to people, celebration, We're looking at everybody else on the top, looking at everybody else doing things, going places, and we're still stuck in the mud with our pants rolled down. We haven't even got to the point where we want to roll up our pants and find out, what should I be doing? What should you be doing more than what you're doing right now? Because if we took a personal inventory right now, all of us could be doing more. How many times have you said it? I want to do more. I want to be better. It's you. It's us. We are our greatest hindrances. The creative ability that we have to speak out of our mouths puts us in limited positions. If we're always saying, I'm not going to have, I ain't going to get it, I don't know how, and that's just what's going to reciprocate. It's us. Learning to be in a mindset where we got to change our mindset and take it into a place of growth, a growth mindset where I've got to first recognize that I may be the problem. I don't have the support. I don't have nobody helping me. I don't have nobody wanting to work with me. A lot of the times we've dedicated to a lot of stuff that don't really show us our potential. I've learned that from experience. Can I share what I've learned from my experience? I've learned that my greatest revelation of my potential is when I've been in a time of need. I know God's going to supply all I need. We ain't got to be all spooky. I'm talking about we know God's going to make a way, and he going to make a way through the gifts and talents that's inside of us. But what we got to understand is that when you go through some of the toughest times of your life, you'll notice that you get more creative. You know, you think a little bit more. You try to tap into the reservoir of things that you remember. You know, you start to invent things. Do you know that inventions are created when the most time? How about the man that invented the remote control? Shout out to him, whoever he is. He got tired of getting up, turning the channel. And them channels be hard to turn. I don't know if any of you guys remember those older televisions. You know, the channel, they were hard to turn sometimes. Man, that man, then he made one where you could connect it to the TV with a cord. Then he starts seeing the hindrances of tripping over the cord, you know, the cord getting tangled up, cord getting pulled out. Then he made the Bluetooth technology came into place. All out of inconvenience. There's a lot of great things that's going to be birthed inside of you out of inconvenience. It's not always convenient for you to go through these things, but the lessons that you're going to learn and the growth mindset that you're going to develop, that, you know what, I'm the one that's holding me back. There's so much more I could be doing. If I was to give you a mirror right now and hold it in front of you, what would you see? Excuse me. What would you see? If I was to hold a mirror in front of you right now, what would you see? Oh, some people say, well, I see me. You do? You see a reflection of you. But let's look at really what's inside of you. Let's cut ourselves open and look inside of us. How many times have we been the problem? How many times did we not do the things we said we weren't going to do? How many times did we make promises that we didn't keep? How many times did we didn't walk in integrity, walk in respect, walk in honor? How many times have we lied? How many times have we talked about people? How many times have we said things we shouldn't have said? How many times have it been us? I understand the stuff that people do against us and the things that happen and the systems of the world, but we're talking about taking a personal accountability about who we are and how I handle situations that come my way. Life ain't gonna be easy. How in the world can you get better if you don't get challenged? It has to be, you have to be challenged. Sometimes we're stubborn. Sometimes we're very unapproachable. Never be unapproachable. Never be unapproachable. Always be willing to listen or give somebody an ear to listen. We don't know it all, but we sometimes can be the problem. I'm trying to shake and stir us into accountability because we know people are going to talk about us. We know people are going to challenge us. We know people are not going to be agreeable with us. We know these things. But how do we apply ourselves and where we are right now in our lives? How do we apply it? How do we overcome what they say? How do we step over that obstacle? It's me. There's nobody you need permission from to be great than yourself. You got to ask yourself, do you want to be great? Talk to yourself. Say, do you want to be great? You got to know your potential. Recognizing that I'm the problem. I could be doing a whole lot more and a whole lot better right now where I'm at if there's some things that I worked on me. We concentrate on trying to fix other people that we miss the fact that there's broken places in our lives that need to be repaired. The better I am, the better I'm going to be to you. Now, that's a good one. The better I become, the better version that I become, then the better version that I'm going to be as a brother, as a sister, as a man, as a brother in the Lord, as a co-worker, as a friend, as a husband, as a father. The better we become, the better we are to other people. One thing that we got to understand, that as we're growing and moving forward and trying to develop the mindset that, maybe I'm the problem, is we got to write down some identifiers. Write down some things that you feel that are holding you back. Write them down. Do any of you guys journal? We'll get into talking about journals and affirmations and just being able to write out how you feel. You can just scribble it on an old envelope, a piece of paper. Just get that thought out of your head. Put it on paper. I think about it all the time. How many times could I have been in a more wealthy place? Prosperous place? How many times could I have had better relationships with this and that? And how many times did I given up so many valuable things just so I could feel good? So many wasted years because I didn't want to recognize that I was the problem. When I was on those years of addiction, I was trying to put it over for years that it was somebody else causing this. Bad marriage, bad this, bad that. This wasn't it. Father wasn't in my life. Just digging for bones. Trying to find an excuse. The victim mentality and the excuse factory. Man, what a combination. You work in the excuse factory with a victim mentality. That's what we do. And I know I'm just being brutally honest. I may lose subscribers, guys. Don't leave me, guys. It's a thing where we're starting to look at ourselves that we are responsible for us being great. It ain't nobody else's fault that if we don't succeed, we don't have to ask their permission. I think about it. It come to a place in a time, write down the things that you feel are holding you back. And then writing those things down, it should generate a call to action. Turn the excuse into action. Okay, I found out some things inside of me that are holding me back. Well, really look at them. Those are some very intense things, very impactful things in the whole package of who you are. You didn't get back into that relationship or restore that relationship because you had pride or they had pride. Selfishness, jealousy. I mean, these things are so prevalent in our society. It makes us shut down. It makes us look for reasons why we're like this. If I'm bitter and angry, I got a problem. My ex-husband did this to me. My ex-wife did this to me in the divorce. We got to stop using those things now and use those things to have a call to action. I'm going to change this excuse and put some action to changing this situation. It gives you a growth mindset because the potential is inside of you and you have to give birth to it. Working on self-improvement things like trying to be consistent. My wife and I talk about it. We wanting to start working on some exercises on being consistent and demonstrating more dedication. Creating treasures. The Bible says wherever your treasures are, that's where your heart's going to be. I'm not talking about things. I'm talking about growing the growth mindset, the kingdom mindset, where I'm not focused on the materialistic things. They're going to come. When I start putting my spirit man and my mental into the right place, those tangible things are going to come naturally. The enemy doesn't want you. The devil doesn't want you to recognize who you are and what you're going to be. He wants you to have low self-esteem, feel like you don't have no value, like you've been beat down in the ground. You're still alive. What did you wake up for? What did God wake you up for? There's people that didn't wake up this morning. I bet you they would trade places with you and me. How about if you didn't wake up this morning? Why did I wake up? Use that as a motivational tool. Say, why did I wake up this morning? To be great. Unlocking the potential inside of you and saying, you know what? I'm going to stop making excuses and say, I'm the problem. I got to work on myself and get better. I've got to put some change into place. You keep doing the same recipe, you're going to get the same results. Sometimes we know so much about everybody else and don't even know ourselves. I'm serious. I've been learning more and more. I'm 60 years old, and I've been learning more and more stuff about myself as time goes on. I'm learning even through being married and being in different relationships and in different jobs and different businesses. I'm starting to see character defects. And I can't keep saying people make me this way. People say people will make you turn so evil. No, that's our business. We can't let people change us. You used to have a sweet and very humble personality. We can't let people change us. We're the problem. People will try to make you doormats, try to walk on you, talk about you, walk with you and talk about you, walk with you, eat your food, drink your drink. There's people who do that. But when you start looking at the identifiers and start recognizing there's some things that I need to change. When you start to have the call to action after you look at the identifiers and you go to call to action, now there need to be consistency in the call to action. If I'm doing this and recognize I'm going to start working on some things, I need to do it consistently. Change will never come naturally until you be consistent and dedicated to it. When you don't feel like it, you don't want to do it anyway. You're trying to develop a mindset of being consistent towards paying towards your to the new you or to the change. God is elevating our mindset so we can look at the things we've been through in the past and say, you know what? Now I'm able to discern what's good and what's bad. I know that hurt. I know that's not right. So now we can apply these things and say, you know what? Now I'm responsible for me because I've got knowledge about what I'm dealing with. Once you come into the knowledge about what you're dealing with, you now are held accountable to bring about change. You, us, me. Once you learn what's right, what's wrong, and you get the knowledge, we're supposed to get an understanding, apply it, and then work on trying to change. It's on me. I'm the problem sometimes. We got to learn to identify it not as a place where we need to be stuck or talk about trying to be bad. It's a place of recognition. It's identifying that I want to be a better version of myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on 1 and 2 this week, and then I start working on the other things. Listen, when you start working on these things consistently, something has to what? Change. It does. If I keep walking up and down a step, if I keep doing that over and over and over consistently, I'm going to get what? Stronger. My legs are going to get stronger. My concentration, my comfortableness, being able to walk and navigate up and down the steps without no... You ever get to a steps and look and say, oh, Lord. And then get to the point now, it's almost like, oh, Lord, God, walk down. And walking down is easier than walking up. I'm the problem. Take the call to action and be consistent with it. Keep working on it. Keep moving it forward. And then when you fail, Don't see the failure as failing, see it as a learning process. See, that's a growth mindset. A growth mindset, once you've identified the things that are inside of you, you see the call to action and you're consistent with the call to action, putting your excuses and turning them into actions. It's going to generate the mindset where when you don't accomplish something, you learn from it and don't see it as a failure. That's a growth mindset. And you're cultivating that, believing in your ability, believing in it. I'm still not seeing the manifestation yet, but I'm still believing that if I keep tilling the ground, something's going to come out of this ground. Growth mindset. I'm going to speak what I'm believing. I'm the problem, so I'm going to work on me. I'm going to tune myself up and work on these character defects and become the better version of myself. Get around and start working around people that support you, undergird you, that has a mindset like you. I ain't say exclude everybody, but man, somebody needs somebody on the same team, baby. Everybody needs somebody on the same team. Pass me the rock. Pass me the ball. There's so much potential inside of you. You got to understand the doors open when you start believing in yourself. You've already picked out the identifiers. You've already went to a call to action. And now you're being consistent with it. And now you've changed to a growth mindset. When you look at a failure, you say, man, I'm learning from this. Man, whew, that's power. Standing up, being accountable, and being humble with it. Working on taking care of your physical and mental health. Sometimes you got to walk away and walk alone. Have some quiet meditation time with the Lord, talking to God, your creator, or just centering yourself, getting somewhere, cut all the lights out, lay back, close your eyes, and just bring your mind in. Because out here in this world today, our minds are everywhere. They have to be watching this, watching that. Go in the store, you got to watch this person, watch that person. You don't know, go in the bank, you got to watch this, you're watching that. Go in the gas station, watching this, you're watching that. You go here, you go there, you go. Everywhere we go, our minds are constantly working, man. You talk about a real computer and these phones, man, come on. They are nothing compared to the brain. Our brain is calculating all the time, even when we're asleep. Guys, listen, I wanted just to encourage you guys on today. Be great. See the potential that's inside of you and recognize that a lot of times the stuff that's holding us back is because it's us. We are the problem. We sometimes are the problem. Identify those areas. Let's work on them. Let it be a call to action and turn those excuses why you're not being great and reaching your potential. Let's turn them into action. Let's do it. Being consistent with it, seeing a failure as a lesson and learning from it. Going to the next level. Listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Sir Derwin Speaks show and the Sir Derwin Speaks channel. It's such a pleasure for you guys that rode the whole ride out with us to the end of the video. We ask you guys to share this video, guys. If you found any value in this content, guys, you really feel inspired and uplifted. And it wasn't a message to brutally try to tear us apart, but it was sometimes we need a self-check, and that's part of self-care. And I just hope this has encouraged you. And if you found some value in this content, guys, hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? If you really want to hear some more about what we got coming up that's going to really be a blessing to you, ring that bell and get notified when I drop some fresh content. And then, guys, if you're not a subscriber, come on and be a part of the Sir Derwin Speak family. Let's do it together. I need you and you need me. But one thing I want you to do as you move forward into your week, just recognize sometimes I am the problem. Until the next time, guys, stay with us. Stay with God, and you can never go wrong. Thanks once again for tuning in to the Sir Derwin Speaks show, and we bid you Godspeed to each and every one. Till the next time, God bless.